And I'm looking on YouTube right now to see. Hi, everybody. Are we live? Can you see us?
Hi.
If so, drop us a chat. Let's see who's going to join us today. Um, wait just a little bit. We sent out an email
Yep.
and it shows that there we are. We're live on YouTube. So, and it's refreshing on my other computer. I've got a computer here, iPad here, phone here. Like I've got everything I need. So
Right.
prepared. So prepared.
How do you get the little
Oh, hi, Kimberly. How are
hi?
you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you.
Thank you. It's good to
It
be
shows
here.
that. Well, there we are. There we are. Okay, I'm gonna turn my volume down here. Okay, so we always like to start off with a little gratitude. We feel like it's important that we recognize the good things in life, appreciation, because there's so much just trauma and difficulty
Mm-hmm.
um, that it's just painful.
Yep.
So I wanted to kind of read some of the recent comments that I shared with you, but I want to read them to everybody. Not bad for a target. Your words really touched my heart today, was one of them. We got so we're waiting for people to join in. Kimberly is smart and hot. Yeah, we knew that one. Thanks, Style of Purchase. Um, Medzi Bantor. I'm not saying that right. Anyway, thank you for talking about our invisible struggles. Hi, Joe. Hi, Igor.
Hey,
Oh,
Joe.
look, he said girls. Igor recognized me this time. Thanks, friend. Justice for targeted people now. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I have been a target since 2009. I stumbled upon your podcast this morning and it has been a life changer. I would love to speak with you. That's Carrie Ann. I'm not going to butcher her last name here, but
Yeah.
I am targeted. Thank you for your services to us targeted people in silent. That one was impressive. That one was impressive. It's marking you as me. That's funny. Thank you. I appreciate what you are doing. I started to fight back a few years ago. It's important for TIs to speak up. They want us to stay silent. We're going to get into the topic just a second. It's actually a good one, guys. But we start off with gratitude. Um, these podcasts and stories are so important for all of us. Thank you for talking. Silence keeps us all prisoner. Talking helps increase understanding. Document objectively as possible.
I
Thank you.
love
Don't stop
that.
talking. You this one, okay, this one gave me goosebumps. This was from Kickback Packy 2 days ago. Everything you've said, I'm going through 10 times worse. I'm so happy you were able to get this story out there because we need it. I have hundreds of people following me every single day, and today you gave all of us TIs a voice. How powerful is that?
Yeah.
How powerful is that?
Yeah.
So, thank you everybody for jumping in, for sharing your stories, for commenting. You've got the you got the survivor and the skeptic, and we are here to talk about everything. Kimberly's actually got a really, really good topic today. So, why don't you tell us, Kimberly, how you slept last night?
I slept amazing. And I slept with I slept uninterrupted for 7 hours without electronic harassment. In fact, they're not even hitting me right now. I don't hear a clicking in my ear. And I want to tell you the reason why I feel like they stopped. Because I went to file my paperwork yesterday, certified mail with Anchorage, Alaska, the only land recording for the American State Nationalist. I sent my paperwork off and I was not harassed last night. So, um, my thought is I'm maintaining my sovereignty. I'm removing myself from the corporation, the United States Incorporated, where they have us all enslaved, where they've hijacked our identity to use us as test subjects. And I'm going to start doing some videos about how you can go about becoming an American state nationalist, because there are two websites that I found that are amazing. One will take you back to the land and soil. And if anybody knows who Jordan Maxwell is, he always talks about maritime law, which is of the sea, and returning to land and soil, which is your actual birthright. And it doesn't matter which country you're in, you can claim sovereignty. So here's what the packet looks like. It's about 37 pages. It's quite thick. I had to certify each page with a fingerprint. You have to sign your names specifically, sometimes in blue ink, sometimes in red ink. I am a doer, so this process to get the documents and have my two witness statements signed was about 2 weeks. So the package should be delivered, because I've been tracking it, to Anchorage, Alaska on Saturday. And so we'll see what happens after that, because here are some of the benefits of becoming an American state nationalist. So it says an immediate increase in usable earnings each month with revocation of federal income tax, which means you don't have to pay it. So the fact that Trump is trying to say nobody has to pay income tax, we don't have to anyway. $5,000 in American Federation dollars backed by gold per month. How many TIs could use that? Access to wealth and lawful money exchange of Federal Reserve notes at 1 to 280 times per FRN, the ability to learn how to alleviate debt as a secured party creditor, indemnification value, unincorporated businesses without having to pay the IRS, the ability to learn the secrets of monetary systems and how every fear you have is based on money, plus the ability to act as your own counselor at law, because this system that they've got us in is actually a fake system. You know how people talk about the parallel universes? Well, one is a
Mm-hmm.
slave and one is your free, rightful, sovereign body. There also, in this documentation, there is a form about me gaining control over my DNA. So part of these programs, which we already know is based off DNA, they have to get the mRNA in you, and then you got to get some asshole to put you on the list. So I've been trying to tell Igor to go on this journey with me, but I have to wrap it up in a way where people can understand it. So Igor sent me a clip on Jesse Ventura, and if you don't know who Jesse Ventura is, he did the show called Conspiracy Theory. And in season 3, episode 7, he does an episode on targeted individuals. And he meets this man, Dr. Terry Robertson. And Jesse Ventura said, "What's up with these people saying that they're targeted? And who are these people?" And he said, "All of these people, there's thousands of them, have the same symptoms. And these people are intelligent and educated, whether that's educated in, a Rockefeller Institute or whatever. At least you're educated, even if it's self-educated." So my thought process is what if this program, I'm going to be very optimistic and just go along this with me for just a minute. So my opinion is, what if this targeting program was to weed out the people, to push the strongest to become American state national citizens, so that we can bring down this corporation so everybody can be sovereign?
So I struggle understanding, like, why am I not already a citizen? Like, what is this changing for me? And is it just in my mind, or if I fill out this paperwork, this stuff really happens?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Welcome to your most abundant life that's waiting on the other side for people to figure it out. Because do you think the United States Incorporation is going to tell you how to live free? They're not, because guess what? You pay taxes, and you're a slave to their system. You not only pay income taxes, you pay property taxes. And
Mhm.
becoming
Mhm.
a sovereign person, you don't pay any of that because we've already paid our debt. So we're actually owed money.
So we don't we fill out this paperwork, we become a sovereign individual, we no longer have to pay taxes?
Yeah, that's correct. An American State National Citizen is what it's called. An
An
ASN for
American
short.
state.
hmm So I gave you a
And
couple
we don't
websites.
have to pay taxes. So the IRS isn't going to come after me in 5 years saying I didn't pay my taxes and take my house.
Nope. So what happens is that you have to serve notice to all of these individual things. You send something into the bankruptcy courts. You send stuff into the IRS claiming your natural birthright. And there's about 5 places that you send stuff to, including the FCC, the communications people who are allowing this on people who haven't become sovereign. I can't think of any other thing that it could have been than that because I haven't slept 7 hours straight without electronic harassment for years.
Yeah,
I
you don't
usually
sleep
wake up.
well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm. You don't sleep well. You sleep very broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're getting woken up. So this is the americansareback.com site. Is that the one that you're referring to?
Yeah, americansareback.com. They have a learning center there. I suggest you go watch some of the videos. There's one book on there that I plan on listening to after we're done with this. That is closed out of that tab, but it was written by Anna von Ritz. So she is an actual judge of the land and soil and not the maritime law. Because when you look at the judicial system, I mean, listen, I've been in the courts, twice for them trying to get me put away for 360 days without my consent. Then they MK altered me to have me pull um, the the power, and um, so they got me on a misdemeanor for disrupting critical structure or something like that. And I wouldn't have had any of that happen if I was sovereign because I'd be like, I'm not part of your system and your laws don't apply to me. Not that you don't have to be a law abiding citizen, because obviously, for other people's safety, you
Mhm.
do. But at the same time, you remove yourself from that circus. It's a complete joke.
So you're just basically taken out of their email list. It's kind of so you're basically putting a do not disturb on your privacy? Is that like
Yeah.
what it does?
Yeah, and protects your DNA because part of the program of them being able to harass you is by your DNA.
But they
And
already have your DNA.
exactly. But if you take it back and return back to the land and soil, they no longer own that. You do. It's crazy.
Who
I
says
know.
they're going to give it back? Like I
It's
guess where I'm
mine.
struggling is like so I mean, is this backed by like law? Is this backed by like or is this just something somebody is now creating?
No, it's
Like
been around. It's been around for forever.
and is it anybody anywhere in the United States or do you have to live in a certain state or territory or
No, it's anyone who was born here or has lived here for 7 years, who has citizenship, and you can do it in other countries too. There are laws
really?
that protect you because coming from the sea is coming from the crown, which is from England, and they
Okay.
imposed this and took away our rights when our founding fathers wrote that. So there, had to have been a way out of it that, of course, they're not going to tell you what they're doing or how to do it. And then some on some YouTube videos, they say, "Oh, it's really difficult." but it's really not. I'm going to walk everybody through a podcast on how I did every step, how long it took
Mm-hmm.
me, how much it cost me, and I'm actually going to go and ask some of these companies if they will give a discount for people who have been targeted, because obviously
That's a
our
good
assets
idea.
are limited, right?
That's a very good idea. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's one of the struggles, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
the asset stripping,
Yeah.
is they literally just take everything from you. So, I mean, how much is it expensive to do this?
So,
I'm
um,
assuming it's like, do they file it in a court? Like, where does this stuff go?
yeah, it's the land recorder's office, and the only legitimate one is in Anchorage, Alaska.
Interesting.
So I sent it by certified mail. But these criminals that are working for the corporation can actually be fined if they meddle in a sovereign person's business, and the fines are like extravagant. Like if they take you to court and they don't have due cause, and you put up a fight, which is what we all need to be doing, you can get up to like $75,000 per day if they mess with you. So what I suggest right now is that we start moving into a bigger survivor mode and removing ourselves from the Democrat and Republican, regime,
Mm-hmm.
because they're
Mm-hmm.
the same two-headed snake. And they created that to create divide and conquer. And they've been doing that for ever.
As long, yeah. Has anybody else done this, guys? If you're watching this, will you drop a comment? Do you guys know what she's talking about? Has anybody become sovereign? What is it called?
An American
Sovereign
state
national?
national. An
An
American
American state
state
national.
national.
Basically taking us back to our roots,
Yeah,
like when we first got here,
yeah.
before the
When
government
we were
became a
born,
corporation.
we had rights, but the government hijacked it. And so every where your name appears on government paper, even on your birth
Hmm.
certificate, is in all capital letters. And now my name is not like that. So when we revoke my name, so like this, an act of expiration, my name is all in capital letters. So I'm revoking that name and not being part of the United States government incorporated. It's hard for people to wrap their head around that we all should be millionaires, but they're targeting us to wipe us out because first of all, we're intelligent, which is what I've told many TIs that are on my podcast. And most of us
Hmm.
are educated, right? If not, we've got street smarts and common sense. And so they would obviously take us out first, because what if we figured it out and all became sovereign? Then we could take down the establishment. Oh, yeah.
Which is
So
the
so
whole.
Joe, that's right. Joe says I'm in. Everything I've read about it seems accurate, as Kimberly states. The farce is the political systems. Yes, 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 yes. I'm glad you made my day. If only one person gets it, I've accomplished what I'm supposed to do.
Is that Dr. Joe? Is
Um,
that the
no, Joe was on my podcast. I think his podcast gets
which one?
released tomorrow.
Oh, Fridays, because right now we're doing our lives
Oh
today,
yeah,
our on
sorry,
lives on
Friday, Friday.
Tuesdays.
Yeah,
So
that's what
we're
I
posting, especially
thought.
through the summit. Like it's really hard to get
Oh,
so much content out.
Owen, I was told by my stalkers early on to do this. I think the guy liked me, but was under orders. Yes, because I'm telling you, I have not felt any electronic harassment since my paperwork went certified mail to Anchorage, Alaska.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a different glow. And like last night, you were cheery and like giggly and cute in our text messages, right?
Yep.
So there is something a little. Do you feel relief?
Yes,
Like,
I feel a sense of relief, and especially since they're not hitting me, I can think and laugh and be like have that sense of freedom where we should all be living an abundant life. In my opinion, all of us should be millionaires because these people hijacked it and have been using our DNA to try to kill us. So, no. Yeah.
So you become an American national,
State
um,
national.
American state national.
Yep.
Thanks. That's the ADHD brain. Um, what stops them from using MK Ultra or electromagnetic? I can't even say the word fields. Like, what's gonna stop them? What's the difference? They don't give a if they're really after control and power. They don't give a shit if you have a different title, right? Like, or does it just stop? Like, is
It
this
it
the
just
answer to
yeah.
targeted?
I think it is the answer for the targeted community. And I want people to help me. If you find out something different after going to the living learning group and running Americans are back. That's what the website's
Yeah.
called. Americans are back.
Kemp, tell us about it. I want to know. Like, you got it a long time ago, like the American national citizen. Did I say that right? Oh my
American State
god.
National.
Thank you. I'm writing this. I'm actually going to write it down this time because
Yeah. ASN,
you know
American
me.
State National. So the other thing about this is that you have to turn over your driver's license and you have to turn over your license plates. So there is what was the other one? Status Select. So there's another website that's called Status Select that provides you the opportunity to not have to pay these criminals for re-registering your license plate. Why should you have to pay for that every year? You don't have to. So you get your Z tag is what it's called. Instead of eating Z bugs, you get the Z tag. Instead of eating the bugs that Klaus Schwab wants you to eat, you get the Z
Nano,
tag
nano.
for your car, and then you get your own license, and then they really cannot touch you.
So, what happens if I do it? And I know we don't have all the questions here. Oh, sorry. I know we don't have all
Answers.
the
We don't
answers
have
here,
all
but
the answers.
um I know we don't have all the answers, but like,
Yeah.
what happens if I do it, but my husband doesn't, and we are joint owners on the property? Like, I wonder what happens there
I
because they
don't
can't
think.
come after me, but they can
Yeah.
come after him.
Uh-huh. I don't think that would be a good idea. I think you have to do it together. In fact, the person at the Americans Are Back, the guy that does the video, I think that's a husband and wife team. They've been really good at getting back to me if I have questions via email. And so I did go down. This is interesting. I went down to the county courthouse here to file my paperwork for the land and soil jurisdiction here. It took him 10 minutes. The lady's like, I haven't seen anything like this. I have to go talk to my boss. And then her boss came out and said, we can't accept this for recording here. And I said, well, I've tried to contact the land recorder's office here in Texas. And she said, we don't have that. And I said, okay, that's interesting. And she said, but you can email our attorney and ask our attorney for a response as to why. And I'm like, I already know why. And your attorney's a fake attorney anyway. He doesn't even know the law. And and they said that on the site, a lot of counties won't accept it for
Recognize.
recording. And there's a reason why. So then I went down to the post office and, sent in a certified mail my documents so that they can be recorded in the land jurisdiction. And it's funny because Dr. David Martin, I was watching him today talk about uh, this on someone's Substack about coming back to the land. But then, Jordan Maxwell would never say, I'm American state nationalist. He would just talk about it. And then you also have to wonder why these people weren't offed if they were talking about this and spreading this information, you know? So I'm just curious.
Coming back to the land. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious too because it sounds so. Thank you. I know. He says, "Look, Erica, you're funny. Looks aren't everything, guys. Don't be judgmental." Kidding. My dad used to say that. Be like, Dad, you're funny. He goes, yeah, looks aren't everything. Funny looking guys put two
So,
and two. It's a
so
dad joke. Okay, so hopefully it allows, what do we say here? Us
yeah,
to be
hopefully it
because
allows
of the
us because
penalties
of the
for
penance for
okay.
violation. Yes, Joe, that's correct.
So that is what they don't want to happen because if they violate our rights or freedoms as an American state national, right?
Yeah,
Did I say that right?
national, American state
That's what
national.
happens when I write it down. If we are, if they don't recognize that or they step on our own privacy or our own rights, then it's set like a lot of money per
Per
day or
violation.
per action, or
Yeah.
they just don't they're not going to want to dish out that money, especially if we're talking about, you know, tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of people doing this.
Yeah.
Like, is that the goal, is to get just everyone to sign these documents, and no
Yeah.
longer are they part of the
Yep.
United States government
It,
LLC
incorporated.
corporation
Yep. Exactly.
incorporated?
Yep. And you have to be very specific and you have to follow the instructions because there are some signatures you sign in red ink, some that you sign in blue ink. All of them, you put a little corporation sign behind and then you put your thumbprint. It has to be done in a very specific way, which is maybe
Mhm.
why Kemp is still being targeted because you've got to do it in a very specific manner. I even had to put like my right footprint, the top of my right footprint on one of the documents. And then I had to take a red thumb print pad and put it on the last part of my signature and the corporation symbol. It's very methodical, and yeah,
Why? Like, why do they need your footprint? Like, now are they, I
because
mean, there's your data.
because
Your
this is
your
my
feet toe prints are just the same as the fingerprints. Like,
this is my
they
signature. Everybody's thumbprint is their own signature with their own DNA. Think about it. So when I get the real license from the American State National, before I turn in the real ID license,
Mhm.
then I'll send it back to them and they can shove it up there. You know what? Because I'm not going to go with a real ID chip. I'm not going to do that.
You
So
mean the designated ID chip by the government incorporated?
yep. And I have one other thing that I was thinking about because my thinking is clear. Why do you think they put the shadow president Elon Musk in there to clean up and with Dodge? Because the corporation is losing money. It's already failing. The fiat currency is already failing. And they're no longer a money maker because they're so far in debt.
Mhm.
He
But
put
haven't we gone even worse in debt over the past 4 months? Like, I am not a political person, guys. I stick my head in the sand. I'd rather not hear any of this, but because I love Kimberly so much, I'm doing it because I need to stand by her because she's got a mission, and my heart says I need to support her. But like, isn't it worse now? Yeah.
apparently he's cleaned it up and saved the taxpayers trillions of debt. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I'll let you know as I go through the process, but
Yeah. So
it's
Jason says they don't recognize that I did this in 2013. Do you think maybe it's changed in 12 years?
yeah.
What do you mean, Jason, that they don't recognize it? Or is it like you're not getting what? What do you mean by that? Help us out here. Our oh, hi. We know that.
Hi
I'm so
Tiffany.
smart. Hi, Tiffany. I actually edited or watched her. I didn't have to do much editing. I watched her interview for the Radical Truth Summit last
Did
night.
you? It's
Yeah,
great, huh?
it's great. I mean, I've literally been up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning every night, guys, because I am so like just
I'm so
and
excited for
it's
tomorrow. I can't even
really
tell you.
it's
She'll
gonna
be
be
on the
fun.
20s. She'll be on airing on the 22nd, but I'm so excited for
Yeah, she's speaker number
this.
2.
Yeah.
So what this is, if you haven't already heard, Kimberly has put together the first of a kind virtual summit. It's called the Radical Truth Summit. She's got 14 speakers who are all over the world, who are experts in specific topics that are too sensitive to put up on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
even Rumble and they're going to be taken down.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of rein her in every once in a while. But like this is behind our own closed doors, right? So you
Mm,
can say, do, act however you want, not how they're making you act, right? Ooh, look at
mm.
me, I'm learning, Kimberly.
Freedom.
And it is a free event. It starts on the 21st. There is one video that you'll get each and every day. It'll be unlocked. If you are free, you have access to that video for a full 48 hours.
Yep.
It'll start at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you will get your first video, which is Dr. Joseph Sansone.
Sansone. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great
Is
guy.
the first interview. And if you want, so let's say you jump in on the 25th, you're only going to get the 25th on if you're free. If you have the VIP, which is like $27, guys, it's you get the videos lifetime. You also have access to live Q&As with speakers. This community will be up. This community has chat features, like consider it like a private Facebook group
Yes.
almost.
Yes.
um
That's a great
because it's the same
explanation.
type of concepts. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be uploading additional videos. That VIP room will be community will be available for lifetime. So it's going to be a great way to engage and encourage and connect with other TIs without having to worry about being silenced or
Yeah.
taken down. We have experience in that, don't we, Kimberly?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah. So you register at Radical Truths Summit, RADICAL Truths, TRUTHS
Summit.
summit.com. I'll drop the link in here in just a second here. You register for free. You can join in. You still get access to the videos. There is a community you can talk with. I'm in there, doing stupid stuff, making fun videos. It's just for I'm the entertainment. She's the real like superstar and the speakers. But man, Tiffany's, I was like, what? Like what is reverse speech? Right? Like what? Like I'm thinking when I first heard the word reverse speech, like I am thinking of like when you turn a record backwards, you play a
Yeah.
record backwards, right?
Yes.
And it's like you're
Yeah.
you're hearing it completely different, like a
Yeah.
different message because you're turning that record backwards instead of playing it forwards.
Yeah.
That's what I think about reverse speech. But man, her interview blew my mind. On average, don't worry about it, man. It should be up on average, Joe. It should be up. We're also going to be putting these lives. We didn't get taken down last week,
I
or
know.
on
It's
Saturday, which
amazing.
is
I
surprising.
can't believe that we didn't get taken down.
Yeah, but these will be in sorry. I got distracted. That's squirrel brain.
YouTube Live,
Um
they'll be saved in YouTube Live.
yeah,
And
they're in the lives, but they're also going to be put in our community forum because again, we have no idea. Right. Like she has been how many times her TikTok's been taken down twice. She's silenced all the time. So like we have no idea. But that's why these other Radical Truth Summit videos are gonna be behind this community because they are sensitive topics. Like even in the creative I have to do for the promotion posts, I literally have to put sensitive topic, watch at your own risk. Otherwise, like even the promotions, the words that we use in the promotions are going to be taken down. So
yeah.
this is pretty cool.
Hello,
Yes,
Brazil.
I will as soon as I get done with this, I'm going to check my email and let's talk about getting you on the podcast. He knows what I'm talking about. And
Hugs
yes,
from Brazil.
what's this?
Oh, I don't know. She hasn't responded to me. I'm assuming that I sent her an email as well. But can you imagine how many people probably email her? A lot. So that's why I went through
Well,
this
that and your
other
messages aren't
company.
getting through.
Well,
We
that and
learned that the
they're
other day,
hijacking my
right? Like
system. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we had somebody who was upset because you didn't respond to another TI when in fact you did.
Yeah.
And it's a very,
Well,
it's very
well, he had my wrong number. Instead of 801 as the area
oh.
code, he had 891. And so that's why
Well,
his messages weren't getting through to me. And then obviously they probably switched that one digit, the criminals on the back end for that one,
wouldn't
individual.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it because
To
his
to create
interview was
chaos.
was it was
It
had
was
had a
very
lot
good.
of views.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
very good. And so yeah, but like it's Tiffany is the same thing. Like her emails aren't coming through. Like that's why I'm like, hey, message me right now because Kimberly's a hot topic right now, and they want to silence her. But because of mailing this out, they somehow know that you sent this certified mail. Like, help me
I
understand that real quick, and then we'll
I
we'll
I
keep
don't
going.
know. I don't know if that's the answer. I'm just telling you what I did yesterday and the difference between when I sent that certified mail out yesterday, took a picture at it at the post office, and then I slept for 7 hours straight without any electronic harassment. I didn't even go up and get to the bathroom. Like I slept straight through the night with no like Havana syndrome buzzing, tinnitus in my ears. And I haven't felt that clicking, how they were hitting me in the ear
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't felt that. So I don't know if that's the answer. I'm just telling you what I did and what the difference is between um, what I did yesterday and how I slept and how I feel today.
Interesting. Well,
I
I'm
know.
here. We're reading some of this. It says, I would love to for this to be legit though, but basically the theory is not recognized by the US government or courts, and efforts to renounce citizenship or avoid federal jurisdictions are considered illegal.
Yeah, that's what they say. And then I say I'll stand up for myself because we all know that it's a corporation. We all know that it's criminal. But what happens if so many people get recorded with the Anchorage, Alaska land recorder's office there's no more. There's just that one. What if everybody gets, sovereign and get their documents recorded in Anchorage, Alaska, and then let's see what happens. I mean, I don't know the answer to the question, Tiffany, but all I know is we've got to try to do something or we're stuck in the victim mode and not in survivor. So I don't know what the answer is. I can just tell you how I feel today versus yesterday.
Doge has
I
not
just not
reported
reported taxpayer
taxpayer
money
money
spent
spent.
on the yeah, right.
What is that? What is
Civilian
that?
torture program. Yeah. Of course he hasn't because it's I want to I did a restack of Dr. David Martin's interview with Red Pill. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is, but I restacked it on my Substack and I said I love Dr. David Martin, but in that video he calls out all these people and it's not the people you think that it is. Those are just the puppets, but he calls out the people actually backing the bioweapon and all of this targeting program. And so I'm interested to see if anybody else has watched that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're excited.
I'm
You're
so
excited.
excited for
I'm
tomorrow.
excited.
It's been
Yeah.
really hard. It's been really long. I put a lot of work into this and you know, and obviously so have the speakers. And I just, obviously, you've put a lot of work in. So I just want to give my gratitude to you and to Tony for helping me
Tony.
through this because it legitimately has been, an over a 12-hour a day thing for you. And I am just grateful for you. So I just want you to know that I love you.
Aw. Well, you know I'd do anything for you. I mean, what I'm so impressed with is this is literally a first of a kind event. Like
Yeah. I
they
haven't seen
we
any.
and again, I want to make sure that I make this clear that we have 13 different speakers. That does not mean that they all agree with each other, right? They are not all on the same platform. They necessarily don't always agree with each other. They may not want to represent each other's thoughts and ideas, but that's okay. Right? That's called freedom of speech,
Yeah.
right? Freedom of
And
knowledge. So they
yeah.
don't necessarily, but there are some amazing speakers on here And the topics, like I was watching Jesse's Jesse Beltran's
Yeah.
last night, and
Yeah.
it gave me freaking goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, when did RAP get legalized? Like, when is that? And I'm like, oh my god, like this stuff. No, this can't be happening. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then I'm going to bed like, huh,
Well, it makes
fairies
you,
and pixies.
it does.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. It is terrifying. I mean, to be honest, it is. So, but unless we do something, we're not going to get anywhere. And so I'm hoping that this is our answer or solution to it. I don't really know, but at least with the summit, this is what I got, because there are some things on there that I don't know. I mean, we're still all re-educating ourselves is basically what we're doing.
Mhm,
We're
mhm,
re-educating ourselves, and there are certain things in each video from each a person that I've interviewed where I learned something.
mhm.
And so hopefully I'm giving that to all of you in this community, to open, your mind and realize how far technology has advanced. And so you'll better prepared if you want to, talk to your family about it. I'm estranged from mine, so I don't talk to them. So but
I'm
if you're
dropping the
still
link to the summit in the chat right now, guys.
okay. But if you,
Um,
still talk to your family or friends and they still are like calling you crazy, maybe it will give you some information on a way to go about,
mhm,
like, hey, look at, why don't you sit down and watch all these videos? Or if
mhm.
you, do me a favor, why don't you watch, this one? Or, I don't know. I'm just trying to give you some
I
solutions.
I think if you come at it from a standpoint of, like, these, like your speakers, they have
Yeah,
literal documentation and research to back what they're saying.
correct.
If you come at it from that approach, and again, I don't know because I haven't had to experience this, but if you come at it from that approach, it makes more sense,
Hmm.
because in that moment I'm not instantly going, "Oh my god, this woman's insane." You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's not just your wild, crazy ideas and
Yeah.
feelings and emotional basket caseness.
Yep.
It's There's science behind it, right? And I think every big movement has come from normal people walking together, holding each other's hands, speaking out,
Yeah.
and having some sort of backing, some sort of proof of how this impacts them. Every movement that's ever happened in America has
Hmm.
come from that, from my understanding, in my opinion. And it's the little people, right? It's the
Yeah.
little people who are the ones shaking shit up. And I think that that might be a way to approach it differently than being like, I'm a target. This person is doing this to me. And it's like, people are looking at you like, what are you talking about? Well, let me show you. Right?
Hmm.
Here is proof,
Hmm.
proof, 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 proof this is happening, because
Absolutely.
I am that skeptic. And every time I listen to one of your videos, every time I read one of your, read the stuff that you share, I'm like, oh, I'm educating myself,
Yeah,
right?
we're
Otherwise, we
re-educating
have no
ourselves. Yeah.
idea. She has magical thinking issue. Huh? She can't do. She really stop tech. I have no idea what she's talking about, but you probably do. Um, can you put a link in for Dr. Martin's vid, please? Do we have that?
I can text it
Can
to
you find
you.
it?
It's on my
Well,
Substack.
text it to me. I'll throw it up. Text it to me. I'll throw it up. So, guys, tell me, what do you think about this whole American state national idea? I know some people are saying, "Hey, I would jump on this in a second," and some people are saying it's bullshit. So, I'd love to know
Hmm.
what your thoughts are on that. And
I
I'd
just
also
sent
love
it.
to know, like, is anybody on here joining us in the summit? I'd like to, I like to meet you guys. I like to get to know you. One thing in the summit, I've had somebody ask me, listen, there are all sorts of little sidebars where you can jump in, you can introduce yourself, you can, share some mind blown moments. So it's a way for us, it's a community. Again, Kimberly is trying to create a community. I'm going to say
Yeah,
we are
we.
trying to create a
That's better.
community
Yeah.
that is a safe place for you, that
Hmm.
can't be censored. Because even on social platforms, even in private groups on Facebook and stuff, they can still be censored by Facebook. Where this is owned by Kimberly, run by Kimberly. Now, if you're a bully, we'll kick your butt out. Like we
No
will accept
bullies.
differences of
Yeah.
opinions. We
Yeah.
will accept your thoughts, your ideas, and I don't care if you don't like what I have to say and you share that. Great. But Kimberly doesn't like bullies and neither do I. So that's the only rule, is you can't be a bully. But like if you're joining us, I want to know, because I want to get to know you. Going back to what I was trying to say,
Hmm.
you can share as much or as little as you want. But again, you are surrounded by people who are like-minded, who are going through or have gone through something similar. You
Yeah.
may be able to provide them value. They may be able to provide you value. Ultimately, we are in this together. We're here to support each other. This is a community. And
Community.
Kimberly's whole goal is to build a community where we TIs are standing together from
Yeah.
nation to nation all over the world. So let's do that. I want to know if you are going to be joining us. Let's see. So day one, we have Tiffany, which is reverse speech. No, I'm
No.
sorry. Day one
No.
is
Yeah.
Dr.
Joseph
Sanson.
Sensone.
Sansone, and his is bioweapon or vaccine, exposing mRNA in the courts, stand up or be reprogrammed. So can you give us just a quick like summary of what that discussion is about? I mean, I
Yeah.
can read the course description, but
Well, because he has a one-page document that he wants people to go to their representatives with, so that they can fill out the form to repeal this bioweapon, basically injection. So,
okay.
and I've helped him push that out on some of my social media handles. I try to do as much
Okay.
as I can, for people that I interview.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. So in the past few days, or in the past like almost like 3 days since Saturday, you've got like 5 new podcast guests. Did you know that?
I am so excited.
People are speaking out. Like, guys, when we first started this, Kimberly, I asked her, I'm like,
We had
so
to struggle.
how many targeted individuals do you think are actually out there? And she's like, I don't know, maybe 1,200. I remember that number. And I
Hmm.
think you might have just been pulling things out of your ass at that moment, but like there's
Taking a scientific wild ass guess.
my oh
I took
yeah,
a swag at it. I took a swag
mind
at
blown
it.
the number of
Yeah.
people that are reaching out and that are saying, oh, let's see, yeah, bound to get very soon. Um, yeah, mind blown. So that is, let's see, I'm gonna read here real quick.
Scientific wild ass
So
guess. But yeah,
yeah.
I text you that for Dr. David
Oh, yeah,
Martin's
let me drop
video.
that in. Thank you. So
And
what you'll learn, he says he believes mRNA technologies constitute bioweapons. The legal foundation behind his Bioweapons Prohibition Act, which is
yep.
probably what he's asking people to sign.
Yes,
The
exactly.
state and federal systems sidestepped informed consent and bio warfare laws. So basically, the federal systems just pretty much ignored informed consent, right?
Yeah.
What legal remedies and strategies remain available for citizens, and how to take civic action to protect genetic sovereignty and bodily autonomy. So he's basically exposing stuff that he has. Again, this is all proven. He's got documentation. Like
Yeah.
this guy's been working his, I mean, it's insane what he's been doing. But it's not just, I'm going to give you information. He literally provides you with solutions, or at least actions. I'll say action steps, right? Like
Yes.
action steps that you can take.
Yes.
And so that's day one.
Because
That's
we
day
all have to
one.
do something. Like we can sit and, whine about how bad they're torturing us, or we can stand
Oh,
up and stay strong. We got this kind of thing
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and push
Mm-hmm.
through it.
Mm-hmm.
And, there were days where I'd get so pissed off that I would, start screaming F you MFers at the top of my lungs just to push past it so that I could be productive. Sometimes there has to be a little bit of that motivation to be like, you're not taking me down today or any other day. I'm not going to put up with your BS,
You know
So,
what's
and
interesting?
yeah,
Now that I'm thinking about it, like there are times that I'll spend with you that you do kind of change a little bit your personality because you are love and light and peace
mhm,
and hippie and magic voodoo and paddleboarding in the moonlight and like she is full of just beautiful energy. But then all of a sudden she will just go on a rampage, and like every other word that comes out of this woman's classy. No, me, I'm an Irish sailor almost, but this woman's classy. But all of a sudden, she will just start like going off on something, and I'm looking at her going like,
what's going on? Yeah,
but I didn't even think of like two and two or something. Like maybe the moments where you're not the love and light,
yep,
that those moments you're being
targeted,
what
hit,
target hit.
yep,
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting. Wow,
yeah,
it's so weird though how after the fact, right? Like once you start to understand what this looks like,
yep.
you can literally go back and say, okay, then.
Now I get it. Yeah,
But
I'm
still,
starting to
it's
get it.
just, yeah, millions of targeted individuals globally. Well, she had no idea. I mean, before
Yeah,
we started this, it was like a month
I
since
was
she
a
got
I was a
her
kindergartner,
court
Joe.
case discharged.
I was a kindergartner doing my research at that point. I just knew something was highly wrong.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
But she didn't exactly know what it was, and so she's been researching and researching in every video. I mean, this woman spends just so much time trying to figure out what's happening
yeah.
in
And
this world, and a
Igor
lot of
does
it does come
Igor
with
does a
help from
lot.
your friends, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And from other TIs, yeah, like I get my information
Mhm.
and then I go look at it and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But it's like this huge web of deceit. Once you go down one rabbit hole, you're going to get led to another. And then you're going to get kind of depressed because it's literally it makes you angry and then it makes you sad all at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes you pissed off,
It makes me
angry.
want to throw up.
Yeah, and that too. It does make it's really, yeah, it's disheartening maybe. Disheartening and
Yeah.
disgusting and but then knowledge is power. You have to realize what they're doing or we're never going to be free.
Hmm. Hey, guys, if you still see us, will you drop something in the chat? I have a feeling.
No, you have a
Because
feeling that
I'm not seeing it on YouTube
oh,
anymore right now.
these
I have
criminals.
a
These
feeling.
criminals can do whatever they want.
Yeah, somebody drop something, please. Let me know if you see us still. Interesting.
Can I show you
What?
something? Can I show you what I see?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, are we still there?
I just want to show the
Yeah, it
people.
says that we've got 21 people still watching, but I can't. Baby kitties! I love it. I just want to hug it and kiss it. And I hate cats, but I love her cats. Oh my goodness, baby kitty. Okay, you still see us, Kemp. Thank you. Thank you. Still good. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I was a little concerned for a second there.
Well, you know.
But again, so here's my thing, Kimberly, is I don't want to believe the world's like this. I
I
don't want
know.
to.
I know.
So like, what about us who really just try to pretend like everything's all pixie dust, and you think that they're going to come after us harder? Like,
They
or am
may to
I
be like
so sucked into the corporation
the
that I
Matrix.
I
Yeah.
just am not able to think outside of my own little fairy tale world? Like,
Well, it is a mind control, program. So there are some people that are sucked in that will never wake up. Dr. Jack Cruz says it in our interview. He's like, 50% of your viewers don't even know how to put their phone on airplane mode. I said, I know.
Yeah, there I was watching that one too. He is an interesting man. So smart. Like I had a hard time
He's so
keeping up with
smart.
him and Brandon. I'm going to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Brandon Iglesias. Oh my gosh. That
Yeah.
mind. Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so we have let's go over some of the guests that you've got on the Radical Truth Summit. All right. So we have Dean Henderson, he's talking about bloodlines of power.
Yep.
Brandon Iglesias, he is talking about defending the mind, neuro rights, nanotech, and the fight for cognitive sovereignty.
Sovereignty. Yep.
Jesse, yeah, we talked about dark science inside the shadow world of non-consensual experimentation.
Station.
And you
Yep.
talk about this a lot. Like you'll get kind of pissy, like you justifiably pissy. Like I did not consent for this. Like it's just like so he's
Which
touching
is
on that,
true.
right?
I didn't
Yeah.
consent. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't. And now you're
Mm.
trying to to get I'm interested what happens here because I'm scared to shit that somebody's going to come to your door and you're going to get arrested and you're on probation right now because of the crap that happened before. So like
Yeah.
I'm terrified that
I think it will
somebody's going to
be.
try and get you.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay because I have to send one of these packages to myself and it needs to remain unopened, a certified copy. So if I ever end up going into a courtroom, I have 12 things that I can say to get myself out of it. And then I'll be like, do you want to see my paperwork?
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
I'm that much of a fighter that I'm going to continue to learn about it because I don't know everything about it. I just know that the process, in the 25 pages that I had to sign in a specific format in order for them to accept it, is one
It's a
one
lot of hoops.
it's a lot of hoops to jump through. It is absolutely. And one woman on my social media said, I tried to become sovereign, and I just had the affidavit done, and it's more than just one thing. It's like a whole line of paperwork. It's not just one piece of paper. If it were that
Mhm.
easy, everybody would have done it.
Fur muffin. Oh, that's adorable. Hi from Havana Syndrome Group, Denver. So we actually
Hello
have
there,
Dr. Lynn
Denver.
Burr.
Thank
He's
you.
actually coming on to talk about Havana syndrome,
I
right?
love that. I love that. Love
Dr.
that.
Bear. Is it Bear? Dr. Bear? Did I say that right? He's coming on to talk about Havana syndrome because he was a Havana syndrome survivor, right?
Survivor. Okay.
Yeah, he's day
Cool.
4. Yeah, the
Okay.
invisible weapon, exposing the truth behind Havana syndrome. Um, and like again, that's another one that like really like, this doesn't make sense. Oh, I saw that on what was it, Expedition Files or something like that. Or you know what I mean? Like, oh, I heard
Yeah.
about that on TV. Well, it's not just on TV, guys. Like this man actually lived through it and
Hmm.
he's sharing some great he's sharing some great information. So
Good.
again,
I'm
it's a
excited.
free summit, starts tomorrow.
Starts
If
tomorrow.
you join in tomorrow for free, then you'll get access to each video for 48 hours. You can watch it on your own time. They're going to launch at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you'll have it for 48 hours. And then the VIPs, you'll have access for, for life and access to the community group. Guys, this community group is really kind of cool. I'm very proud. I built it out and I'm very proud.
Yes.
So get in there.
That's why I had to say
Share if you
thank
feel
you.
like it. Share
It's
if you feel like
amazing.
it.
Hmm.
And this is probably the only place that you'll actually get like be able to grab Kimberly's attention quickly over these next 14 days and
Yeah.
individually because she's right in there with her and the speakers like we've invited them to join in Q&As and stuff. So, but again, it is free, but if you sign up on day 5, you get days 5 through, 14. So,
Yeah. So
unless you're VIP, then you get it
we
forever.
will line up like some of these live video streams with some of the speakers so that you
Mhm.
as viewers can ask them some questions. So
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there, especially some of those who are interviewed on the summit, to just give you a heads up in case you are willing to do a live feed to answer questions,
I'd
like
love Tiffany to jump
DJ,
on.
DJ Chris
Tiffany and
and Tiffany.
Amy
Yeah,
and DJ Chris,
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
if Tiffany and DJ Chris and Amy could jump on, like Amy's was like, and she's got like
She
presentations
had so
and
much information. I at one point was like staring at her like deer in the headlights, because I'm like, holy crap, this is a lot of information. She has so much more. Like, we could probably do another one and she could go off in a different area. So yeah, really amazing.
it's insane. Absolutely insane. All right, so guys, does anybody have any questions? Is there any topics that you want us to discuss? We're thinking we were gonna do these on Tuesdays around this time. Every week. So she'll have her normal podcast. I
Yeah,
will not over or take over everything, guys. I promise. You get Kimberly all alone or Kimberly with her guests too. But
yeah,
on Tuesdays, you have the survivor and the skeptic. So I'd love to know, like, does this work for you? Are there any topics you want us to look at? Are there any videos you want us to watch? Like, I
yeah.
would love to do
Are there
like
any
a,
topics you want us to
yeah,
cover?
yeah, I'd love to do like watching some videos together that we haven't seen before, like the video
Igor's
response,
like,
you
you
know what I
didn't
mean?
mention Amy Holm. We were just talking about her, Igor.
Yeah, we just talked
We just talked about her.
about her. Pay
You
attention.
know, Uh, there was James Radusky on there, Jesse
Yep.
Beltran, Dr. Len Bear, Dr. Nicholas Corin, like they're all of them. Chomi Prague. Who
Her
else?
story is heart
Kathy.
wrenching.
Yeah, it's sad.
Tommy's
Chomi's.
story is heart wrenching.
It is heart wrenching. Kathy Meadows. She's written 2 books. I
She's a
think you'll
beautiful
enjoy it.
human being. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned something from each one,
Yeah.
each person that I interviewed. So I'm hoping you gain something out of it.
I think you will. I mean, I gained something out of it. And like again, like I support Kimberly from everywhere, from anything she does. I've got her back, but still, I freely admit I'd rather stick my head in the sand. I have no idea. Like I want to pretend that this doesn't happen. So, and some parts of me are like, come on, guys, like really are people that cruel and evil? But it's eye-opening. It's
Once you
awakening.
put that David Martin's video in there in the chat, they can go to Substack and watch it.
Yeah,
You
I
should watch
dropped
it
it in
too,
there.
Erica.
I'll do it again. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll do it
I don't
again.
see it. You should watch it too.
Well, I'm gonna have to now
Um, because
because
if you don't,
you're gonna check on me and make sure that I do.
I'm gonna give you some question and answer. There will be a quiz at the end of you watching it.
I have a lot of problems concentrating due to trauma and some of the energy weapons that have been used against me. I think
Yeah.
they've all played a part.
Yep.
I think that's called medically diagnosed. They'll try to tell you you're like ADHD, right? You have trouble concentrating and remembering. So rather
Well, of
than
course
saying,
they
okay,
will, so they can feed you
you've been
full of
zapped.
big pharma's drugs. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's why
Hmm.
it's
Oh,
important that I want that Dr. David
that's another
Martin's
one that
video
was
out
talked
there.
about. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another one that was talked about.
yeah.
Um, all right. Now, guys, honestly though, like drop in if you have topics and you don't have to be live here to answer. Like we check every single message. Um, she tries to get she does her very best to respond to everybody. But like we check every message. So tell us, like, send us a video that you think we should review and watch. And you'll be able to see her going, yeah, that makes sense. And me going, mm-mm. But let's turn the skeptic into a true believer, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
She's
So we dropped in. Yeah, you are Amy. We dropped in the link to the Substack that she's referring to. It's the last thing I just dropped in.
Yep.
Again, we have the Radical Truth Summit starting tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I am so excited.
I am so excited
She
too.
put
It's a
a
lot of
lot of
work.
work into this.
It was a
Her
lot of
and the
work.
speakers
Yeah.
have put in a lot of work in here.
Yep.
So it's going to be great. There's a great opportunity. Let's see. I've never had ADHD, but I've noticed from the more I've studied about the aspects I have. Yeah. Symptoms that, yeah. See,
Mm-hmm.
with women, Kemp, I actually learned with women because I was diagnosed with ADHD recently, but my whole life they diagnosed me with depression and anxiety and pumped me full of medications that
Yep.
pretty much turned me into a zombie. Like I
Mm-hmm.
had like nothing. I was a complete zombie. And then I go to therapy every week. By the way, therapy is like the greatest thing you can do. If you can find somebody that you trust and love. I know Kimberly will back me on that. But we did that and ketamine treatments.
Yeah.
And I was able
Ketamine
to
treatments
get
are
off of
amazing. Yeah.
all of my medications. I do have ADHD meds, like when my brain gets too squirrely because I need something like you won't understand me sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it's amazing what happens when people actually listen to you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
They really listen to you. They recognize, okay, but for I would say over a decade diagnosed incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's interesting because maybe the lack of concentration or the inability, like you did scan my head that one time. Do you remember? And it was like on
Oh, I
fire.
remember we were at my old office that
I'm
I
like,
no
no,
longer
I'm like,
have.
no, I have nothing. There's no chips. There's nothing. And she goes, uh-huh. And she scanned certain parts of my body, nothing. I think Igor, you were there,
Yeah,
right? This
Igor
was
was there.
in your old
Yep.
office. Igor was there. And then
Yep.
all of a sudden she goes over my head and goes, beep. And she's like, uh-huh. Nothing. I'm like, it was terrifying.
Yeah. It's terrifying. I know.
Oh my gosh.
Women safari.
Kimberly, I need to talk to you.
One of the
Oh.
stalkers highly involved in
Ooh.
Utah real estate. Yeah. I probably do know her,
Oh.
which is
Probably.
crazy, Owen. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably. Um oh, and if you want, I don't know, can can we give your info, Kimberly, your info
Yeah.
and email out?
Yeah. Info at unveiling.
Info, yeah.
Yeah.
Info at I'm dropping in her
Email address. Yeah.
mhm. Here. Send her a message. You guys can connect.
There,
Thing back and
yeah,
forth.
because we have some conversations to talk about because the people who put an offer on my house first was someone that I knew, and I think they're using this program to drive people out of their homes to purchase it at a lower value, real estate
Mhm.
mobbing, so that
Mhm.
they can come in, do very little remodel, and turn and make a profit. And so they lowball the offer. And if I wouldn't have known the industry and how bad I wanted out of that condominium, I would have taken it just to get the hell out of there.
Because
So
that was like right in the midst of everything, right? So
yeah,
now you're emotionally distraught. You have no idea what's going on with you. Why are all these strange things happening? Why is it one day I'm walking down the street, I get assaulted by a man, I start acting weird, and then the next day, like you get arrested. I meaning you,
yeah.
like all of a sudden within that 48-hour time span.
Yeah, that was actually backwards when I looked at
Oh,
it. So they MK ultra'd me to pull the power switch at the condominium. And then the next day, after I was released, um, I that's when I was attacked in the alleyway. So I had him like reversed, but still
and
two
it's all
two
kind of like a
dramatic events.
pre-planned way to ultimately get the goal, which was have you institutionalized for 360 days against your will.
Correct. Correct.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
All the
all they
same goal.
did was the only way you were able to get out of it is by pleading and being put into a 30-day drug rehab, even though all of her tests says negative, negative,
Negative,
negative,
negative,
negative.
negative.
She's been like, there's like, it's insane,
That's
but they
part of
put
the
her in.
program. It
So
is insane. That's the insane thing about it is insane. And then what is really insane is the most disappointing thing about the human race is that they while they are being mind washed, it's really hard for people to accept that they're wrong. So there's many people in my
mhm.
family that were vaccinated, that got the jab, And I kept telling them, I'm not getting it. You shouldn't get it. Not one of those people, unfortunately, is going to apologize. And do you think that I received any apology from my estranged parents or my estranged children or any of my
Of course
estranged
not.
family? No,
No.
because
No, they just kept coming.
yeah, that is the most disturbing of human beings, because they have this thing where they have to prove that they're right, even though they've got all of this evidence out in front of them that says you were wrong, and the vaccine was rushed, and it's not actually a vaccination. So we'll stop calling it that. It is a bioweapon. All of them are.
Which you talk, yeah, you guys actually talk. There's a couple of episodes. I think James talks about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. James
Yeah.
Radusky. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yep,
has something to do
he's
with the
trying to get
PrEP
the
Act,
PrEP
right?
Act repealed. So
Yeah.
he was another great one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, and so she typically interviews TIs on her podcast. I mean, this is a totally different type of interview. Let's see. James is day 7. Yeah, legalized harm in the fight for justice, the PrEP Act exposed, which I had no idea. Like, guys, as soon as they said COVID and you need a vaccine, and like I was like, I'm on board. Like, okay, save me. I
Right.
had COVID 4 times.
Yeah,
Like,
that's because you
and
got it. I only had it once and I didn't get the jab.
we think that my dad actually, we think because COVID like really came out, I think in like a March, I can't remember exactly, but my dad came home from a cruise, got really, really sick, like really sick. And he was in the hospital for a little bit, and they said it was like pneumonia and the flu. And then later, like a couple months later, COVID came out, right?
Hmm.
Um, and like immediately, because he had COPD and all, they're like, okay, get the, injections.
Yeah.
And you think that was a part of why he passed, right?
Yeah. I think that was part of his turbo cancer. Yeah.
It's because he got the, but they're so scared. Like I was terrified.
Well,
And the
that
first
was the
time,
whole psyops program. The mainstream media psyops program was fear and fear mongering. And if you didn't comply, they were going to say you were crazy, delusional. And I spoke out against, the establishment, Bill, the WHO, the WEF, out on social media. And then that's when I can go back and say, oh, now I know why they hit me really hard, you know, in this
so
targeting program.
why put, other than like, getting rid of human population, which maybe that's the answer, but why would they put this drug out to murder all of those people, like, and put, I mean, what was the value, what did they get out of it, Kimberly?
Money. They
What?
got a lot of money. In fact, someone said on Substack that the medical doctors have to give 63 vaccinations. And that's why you have these medical doctors pushing back, because for each one, they get a bonus. But if one of your kids doesn't get one of those vaccinations, then they don't get their bonus. And it's just disgusting to me. I, if I could go back, I wouldn't have vaccinated my children. Maybe they
Really?
wouldn't have gotten brainwashed and, try to
Tony
put me
says, yeah,
away.
I know, Tony, you didn't get the jab. I remember that whole conversation. And you had to fight to keep your girls from having to take, yeah, college requirements.
Yeah, college
Yeah.
requirements. You parents can actually fill out a waiver form for any school for any vaccination. You just have to fight back. Like you can
Really?
go to, yes, in the state of
Because
every
you have to show vaccinations in order
They
to go to
tell
in
they
order to
tell
go to
you that
school.
because they don't want you fighting back. But there are forms that you can fill out that say this is against my religion, or you can get a waiver form. Every state has a waiver form, so you don't have to get the vaccination schedule for your child. But I mean, nowadays, why put them into public school anyway? They're just going to teach you the Rockefeller Institute and not teach you anything. They're going to teach you their narrative, but they're not going to teach you what the truth is. You know,
Hmm.
that's why they call it
Hmm.
the Rockefeller institutions.
It's
So,
I'm not sure what they're teaching. I mean, I know the teachers are, God bless teachers, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
really know what they're teaching in school. Like, again, I have a 17-year-old. He's about ready to go into his senior year. And he comes home and there's like, so, how was school? What'd you learn today? And I try to like get it out of they don't really learn. They learn what, like you said, what they want these kids to learn, right?
Yeah.
But you go back in the true American history, like they don't teach about what really happened at Fort Bridger with the
Yep.
LDS and the Indians, and like they don't put that in books of
Nope.
what really happened. They have to make it in movies and stuff, but still, I mean, I don't know. What is the truth? I mean, how the hell do we know what the truth is? I mean, even and you go back to the Bible, right? Like in religion, the
Yep.
Bible was written after the fact, and then it was gutted
Yep.
and
Yep.
decided on by Constantine, right? Of
Yep.
what shall and shall not be said,
That's
uh,
correct.
all the way back
Yes.
to Jesus' time. Like,
Yep. So basically,
how do we know what is real and what's not real if other people are going to say, I think you should know this and you know this? Like, how do we find out the truth,
yeah.
Kimberly?
Well, depending
How do
on
we find out the
how
truth?
you ask certain AI platforms, AI will tell you the truth. Some of the AI lies, and some of it tells you the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's what Kimberly was saying is like you were mind controlled
Mm.
to get the jab,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that was the purpose, and so that they can money,
Yeah.
make money. So all of those people, all of those families who had to bury their loved ones because of money. Like
Yes.
I mean,
Money. It's a
I guess it
very
makes sense because you know that there's some ways
psychopathic.
to,
It's
yeah,
it's a, it's a psychopathic people, and even Dr.
virus.
David Martin says that, and he calls out people that have their name scrubbed from the internet, and it costs them millions of dollars every time he says their name. It was kind of funny, actually. I laughed at it because he's ballsy.
Really?
Hmm.
Every
Yeah.
time he says their names. Yeah, great teachers have their hands tied. They don't have control of the classroom.
Yeah.
Kids are entitled little shits. Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Absolutely,
Tony.
because
Yeah.
we don't want to put any type of put our foot down as parents because we're so afraid that the schools are going to come after us because we put our kid in the corner and put their nose against the wall. Like
Hmm.
now that's considered abuse and neglect, but um curriculum is decided by people with agendas. The teachers just have to follow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they don't have a job,
Yeah.
right? And teachers are beautiful, wonderful people, like 90% of the time. They
Mhm.
really, really are. They have
They're
good
trying
intentions,
to, but yeah, when they
but they're
when they discover, they
everybody's ruled
usually
by
end up
someone.
quitting. Yeah.
Everyone's ruled by someone. I mean, even as an American state national, who's in charge? I mean, like whose rules do you have to follow? Yours? Only yours?
Mm, mm, right.
Interesting how that's going to work. I am
Yep.
excited to learn how that process is. Kimberly, you're
I
gonna
can't
actually
wait to
do a
watch.
solo cast through this process, right? Like
Yes.
you're gonna do short videos or solo casts of, okay, this is the steps that I've taken, and then
This is what I've done
once
so
the
far.
next steps are
Hmm.
happening, you're gonna explain it all and how people can do it.
Hmm.
um Again, everybody, we are going to be doing these on Tuesdays. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
We'll definitely I'd love to have some other people kind of jump on for a little bit with us
I would love that.
and
Yeah,
give
absolutely.
feedback. So
Yeah.
absolutely. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, ideas, thoughts, if you have a video that thinks going to blow our minds, like please share them with us. We look at every single comment, every single one.
Yep.
So drop them in. Is there anything else you want to say, Kimberly? I know we're running over a little bit, but I could
Well,
just talk to you for decades. So
what I always say, stay strong. We've got this.
we've got this, honey. All
Yep.
right, everybody. Well, thank you so much again. Please, tomorrow, tomorrow. The Radical Truth Summit goes live. Like I said, this is a virtual event. It is a kind of do it at your own pace, free 48 hours. So if you're a free registrant, you do have access to everything for 48 hours. We'll get one video a day. We'll contact you. It's in your learning center. That's why we're saying this community is very fun, because it's all in there. All you have to do is one place. We'll let you know when that next video drops. If you're listening to this on the 28th and you want to see all the videos from the 21st, just upgrade to the VIP. Oh, I miss the baby kitties. I'm
She
the
had
only
to say
person they
hi.
like, by the way. I'm the only person that they like, by the way. They
Mhm.
probably forget me. So yeah, basically, if you join on the 28th, that's fine, absolutely fine. If you're free, you'll get the 28th through the 2nd or the 3rd, whatever date it is. But VIPs have access to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for life. So to all videos. So wow. I'm having fun doing these with you.
Yeah,
It's like our FaceTime
likewise.
Fridays, but live.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, stay
All right,
strong,
guys.
everyone.
Stay strong. You got this.
You got
All
this.
right.
Yep. All right. Bye.